Russia is ramping up its drone incursions over EU countries, defying their strongly worded condemnations. Is the EU finally having to learn that Russia doesn't really respond to nasty words? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. Let's talk about it. Okay, so this has been kind of an interesting story as more unidentified drones are spotted over airports and military facilities in countries including Denmark, Lithuania, and Finland. This is, of course, part of a larger Russian drone policy. We know that Russia tested the air defenses of NATO countries by sending in large strategic strike drones like Gerberas and really just Gerberas. But we're also seeing more and more Russian and Russian-linked actors fly smaller commercial drones over key EU military facilities. Now, we've talked about the fact that America's adversaries do the same thing. In fact, a lot of Chinese nationals are often arrested and deported from the United States for flying commercial drones over key military shipbuilding bases and other sites. And we're seeing Russia do the exact same thing right now. While Danish military command has not disclosed the full scale of the problem, all three countries, Denmark, Lithuania, and Finland, have all reported that commercial drones have been flying, or drones of some sort, have been flying over key sites, including power plants, airports, and military bases. This is almost certainly a Russian operation because, one, the beneficiaries of this kind of overflights are Russia for sure. One, it tests the air defenses and anti-drone operations of these countries. Fun fact, they appear to have no anti-drone capabilities, but also it provides detailed reconnaissance data of key military posts. And while it may not mean that an invasion of some sort is days, weeks, or months away, this kind of information allows the Russians to gain a sense of what the military configuration looks like, what the level of military readiness that these countries have, and critically, if individual bases or airports or facilities are being used to move aid into Ukraine. And so this benefits only Russia and is frankly kind of embarrassing for the EU, given the fact that various EU diplomats have attempted to make strongly worded condemnations of Russia at places like the UN General Assembly. But Russia doesn't respond to words, they respond to force. And so Russia has firmly disregarded these European statements. In fact, the Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, said, quote, Moscow has no intention of attacking European countries. This is, of course, insane because literally right now, Lavrov is targeting a European country. You might recall Ukraine is in Europe. So this is a really rich one coming from him. And then he adds, any aggression against my country will be met with a decisive response. Of course, any response to Russian aggression is a dangerous escalation, at least according to Russia. This kind of absurdity is absolutely just par for the course for Russia. You might recall that Lavrov is the same man who said that Russia had no intention of invading Ukraine in January of 2022, just literally days before Russia invaded Ukraine. So we should simply not trust this guy. And Lavrov again saying, repeating some absurd Russian talking points, like Russia has been open to negotiations to eliminate the root causes of the conflict, but per Russia's own statements, the root cause is the existence of an independent Ukraine. They say Ukraine should be part of Russia. That's a direct quote. So, of course, he says we have repeatedly proposed on legally binding security guarantees, saying that it's the EU's fault. But again, legally binding security guarantees are worth nothing with the Russian Federation because, as you might recall, Ukraine had a security guarantee from Russia and a security guarantee from the United States that their sovereignty would not be violated in the form of the Budapest Memorandum, and they also had repeated guarantees from Russia, legally binding guarantees, ending the initial annexations of the Donbas and Crimea in the Minsk 1 and 2 Accords. So Russia just continues to roll out absurd lies, things that no reasonable person believes, and yet somehow the EU continues to labor under this delusional state in which somehow they believe that Russia is just one strongly worded condemnation away from coming around to the internationalist way of thinking. we would all love to live in a world where all things are solved through diplomacy, where strongly worded condemnations will simply cause your enemies to simply collapse in a heap, saying, "My God, I cannot believe it. The Poles told me that this unprecedented act of aggression will never be tolerated. Oh my God, I won't be tolerated by the Poles? How absurd." But we don't live in that world. We still live, in fact, in a world of force. Again, it's like the meme where they say, if someone tries to break into your house, you simply tell them stop. Home invasion is illegal. And then legally, they have to depart. But that's not how it works. Just like saying, stop, Russia. It's invading your neighbor is illegal. And we condemn it. And Russia goes, they condemn it. It's illegal. My God, we have to leave now. Maybe the EU will learn, but probably not. They're going to continue to labor under this delusion, and until eventually, of course, the war comes for them. That's just how it is. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Become a member at Combat Vet News. Keep me able to say this stuff all the time. And a huge thank you to our existing members, guys like Yanko Georgiev, Bastian Himmler, Michael Fry, Christine Schumann, Deborah Holmes, Deborah Oppenheimer, all of our Lieutenant Tier members. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.